You remember us?
Yeah.
Remember us back in the day? Episode 100, we got all cocky. And then we were like, you know what?
Old school.
Peace out. Welcome, everybody. We are still alive, much to, the commentary online. We are still here. We are still doing Prep Talk Live. It was winter. And as anyone who's watched our show knows, sometimes there are a couple of weeks that will string together where schedules just do not align. But we are here. We are back. It looks like the next couple of weeks we will actually be here doing our thing. So y'all can join in. I'm Casey with Cascadia Dispatch. This is episode 101 of Prep Talk Live. And joining me, as always, for I think 99.8% of those, is Tup, the Urban Prepper. Tup, what's going on? How are things in your world?
Doing good. Yeah, it feels good to be back. 2025, although the month is already gone. I'm not sure what happened. Back in action. Things are going pretty good. Man, I've been cranking on some videos. I just need to finish them. I got some cool EDC related things and some EDC backpack update. It just takes a lot longer for me to do all these than I used to. I try to balance everything and try to be a good dad and a good worker for my job and be a good prepper and all of those things. So it's the balancing act. But all in all, things are going pretty well overall.
Yeah, the balancing act is a thing. Like especially like because when you get into the end of the year and we're like, okay, oh, it's relaxing. Oh, but it's actually holidays. And in our case, it's multiple birthdays and all of the things. And then school's out and then school starts. And you're just like, okay, we're running all over the place. We're trying to get all the things. As many of you know, we do not have a staff. If you'd like to volunteer, maybe we get some interns or some volunteers to help us with this stuff. But our one-man bands come together for
we have a skeleton crew for this one.
Yeah, exactly. Although I found out that my daughter actually created her own YouTube channel, which is kind of funny because we have a strict rule that we do not have public YouTube channels, especially with faces or anything like that.
Yeah.
So she was doing that, but didn't realize that you have to set the videos to private. She thought her whole channel was private. So we found out that she actually has some pretty good editing skills.
Nice.
And so does my son. So I was like, oh, maybe I'm going to send these two some videos and let them chop.
Yeah, I've been thinking of my son doing the same thing and see how he does.
Yeah. Welcome back. So everyone, we wanted to just come on, let everyone know again, like we're alive, we're here, we haven't forgotten about everybody. We're going to have a couple of weeks there, I think, where we're going to have some shows. I think then in 3 weeks, I think we'll probably skip a week and we'll go from there. But we will be here. I think one of the things, it sounds like, Tup, you're working on some actual videos. One of the things I think I'm going to do is try to do some streams. So I think we're going to try to get more content out with our schedules and stuff. But so so you're doing EDC videos.
I got a new EDC backpack. I'm going totally covert, like a total gray man, because all my other backpacks over the years have I try to be as discreet as I can, but they still, at the end of the day, whether it's a VanQuest or my Expedition or 511 Tactical or Veritex or all of them, my coworkers will still think it's tactical. So I'm like, okay, I'm just embracing that I work in a nerdy environment and everyone has nerdy stuff. So I totally go in a pig and a poke so I'm going full on leather backpack, but
nice,
because it's more of the executive style one. I think it's made in France, but I still have some of the prepper tactical things as far as it has some body armor in it and it has all the modules. I don't want to give away too much because I'm filming it, but I have a bunch of different mini modules in there, and it has it's prepper tricked out, but the outside of it totally looks like a nerdy kind of executive level EDC backpack for someone that wears, like, I'm wearing button up shirts and stuff. So far, like, all my coworkers just think it's like an executive backpack, and I'm fully gray man now at work. Previously, the backpack always gave it away because they're like, "What is that? What's that, Molly webbing or whatever?"
Why are you wearing a suit with a Punisher morale patch on your thing?
That's exactly what's going on. And so then I was stalking all of my people in the Seattle area, and I was saying, okay, someone that dresses like me, what backpack are they using? And I'm like, hey, I've been noticing a lot of like leather backpacks, so maybe I should try that for my next one, and I'll trick out the inside of it and just have it so it's just a container of it. But yeah, I've been pretty happy with it. It looks pretty stylish. Like I'll
I'm
working on the video, but it
to
takes a
focus
long
on
time.
the fact that you were going to a lot of leather stores in Seattle, or that you were stalking people at leather stores in Seattle.
Yeah, no, I did
Which of
some
those is
research
more
on it,
interesting?
but it looks pretty nice. It looks like a
Yeah.
when you wear a jacket, it looks like just a leather backpack. And sorry, haven't not used to this putting backpacks on a live stream. But yeah, I've been pretty happy with the quality of it. It's been made well, and I've had it for the past several months now, and I think I'm okay. I think the video's ready, and all the content and stuff is there. There's some little tricks that I've added, so I'm working on that one. Working on there's a new I have a new mirror safety gas mask that I'm doing, and my wife thinks I'm crazy because I can show a photo of it, but I've been with all like everything going on with like the wildfires and stuff, or previously like evacuation with smoke and stuff is like key. And so I'm like, oh, I guess I probably should do a dedicated one on this one for sure. Um,
Yeah.
yeah, so working on that, updated EDC. This is my. I
Is
don't
it
know.
the new one is it the new mask that they have?
Yeah,
Like
there's a
the
new
eight,
one. I
I
don't know if
think?
you can see that. That's my. Uh, I was on a daddy-daughter date night, and
Of
and
course you were. Of course you were.
we went to my daughter's school dance, and I got dressed. I'm like, oh, let me get a photo with the gas mask, and my wife said, "You're crazy." And so anyway,
Is
uh,
that the photo that they put at the front door to the school so you're not allowed in anymore? Because
yeah, they some people think I'm a little weird. But yeah. So anyway, I've been at home rocking the gas mask and testing it for different scenarios and stuff. So that's been going good. Let's see what else. Yeah, EDC update. Some vehicle prep stuff, some office prep stuff. Yeah. So, but I have to slowly like I have to. It's I'm having to piece it all together like piecemeal, and then it's all out of order, and then the editing. But again, the Osmo, the DJI Osmo camera is just so awesome for like because I could just carry it wherever, and I could have the built-in tripod for it, so I'm able to do. Okay, I got a 5 minute break. Let me do some filming, and then do it like that, and it's been pretty cool for that.
that is fantastic. Yeah, we so I brought ours because you had recommended it, so of course I had to get it. So I took it to now all of the kids like choir concerts and musicals and all of that to record as opposed to having like a tripod with a phone or a camera or something. It's fantastic. It is
It's awesome.
wonderful.
Yeah, I mean, I when I first started my channel, I borrowed my wife's little flip camera. It was a pink flip camera, and it was so
Mhm.
it looked like I was filming out of a potato or something. But this is so awesome with how well it looks and stuff. So, right, a lot of like what do you have to film was like B-roll stuff because I wanted a lot of the prepper videos. They feel like we're like studio preppers, where it's all in the
Yeah.
studio. I want to be out in the streets, and so it's with everything because those are with my people. So,
Yeah, exactly. You're a
but I
prepper in
also
the streets.
yeah,
That's
but I also have to be careful too because Seattle's getting rough. Uh, yeah, but anyway, it's been pretty fun, and hopefully still got it. We'll see.
excellent. I'm excited. I'm excited to see the executive one because I got my wife had me get a leather backpack
Yeah,
a couple of years ago, and so I was gonna try to make like a prepper bag. So I've got some modules that are a little more kind of businessy, executive look and feel, and some of that sort of stuff.
yeah.
So I'm interested to see what
Yeah,
you
I
would
have it broken
put
up
in
by
yours.
like primary modules, like my electronics module. It's like because I want to be able to do grab and go as much as I can. So I have
Yeah,
my larger electronics ones, and then I have more of the mini modules that are in the coin purses for different things. So I think I have it. I think it's pretty. I've been liking it. It's been pretty organized, and the best part is that everyone just thinks I'm just some nerd computer nerd, and that's the whole point. So
yeah, exactly.
I've got full underground on the prep. They don't know.
Get full prepper.
Not
That's
full
what,
prepper, but like full gray man prepper. So
oh, okay. Yeah. So you're not like full prepper. You're full agreement. So
well, I over the years, I've gotten rid of like the paracord bracelet. I'm not wearing the tactical pants. I don't even have like a molly webbing backpack. All the tail signs of a prepper. Like I have the super deep pocket clip carries for EDC stuff. So and they're blue. So it's like so even when I bring them out, everyone's like, "Oh, that's cool. What's that blue thing?" So I
they're
think
cheery.
I'm fully underground now, so they don't. No
Yeah.
one knows unless they follow the channel.
That is fantastic.
Did we talk when we when I went to Vegas? Have we synced on that yet? Or
I don't know. You went to Vegas, but not like when did you go to Vegas?
that was in the beginning of the month. So we haven't talked since
Oh,
then.
no, we haven't.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun too because I'm trying to make everything as TSA friendly as I can, so I don't have
Mhm.
to like, oh, I wonder if I have a shank in this kit, like so. But it's a the,
Oopsie.
like the bulletproof, the shielding, the ballistic shielding is TSA approved, and like the batteries and stuff. And then I think I have a good way of like isolating the sharp items and be able to quickly remove those. But yeah, it was Vegas was a blast. I'm still trying to figure out the best way of still EDCing where you can still make it through TSA quickly because anytime I try to bring anything that's semi prepper esque, it gets so. Hey, what is this thing? Talk to me about it.
Do you have TSA pre-check?
Do I have what?
Do you have TSA pre-check?
No, not yet, but I probably should.
Oh,
I haven't
that
we haven't
makes
been,
it way faster.
yeah, we haven't been flying as much lately, but because my wife's scared of flying, so but
Mhm.
she's trying not to be because the kids want to go places.
Yeah.
But
Well,
it's
so in TSA pre-check lasts for 5 years, so like it's an expense, but if you amortize it over like 5 years, it's not like super crazy. Um, and again, like there are some people in the prepper community that would not like TSA pre-check because you have to like give them information
give a
about
little more information. We're very private people.
exactly. Also, like if you just want to kind of breeze through security and not spend as much time and just kind of walk through, like it is way easier. Obviously, you still can't have the same things, but like you don't have to take your belt off, you don't have to take your shoes off, you don't have to do that. It's a shorter line,
Yeah.
and so it's a little bit easier to kind of manage through some of this.
The thing that helped us out the most with TSA, like, I mean, I had my, battery. I'm always worried about like having the big, large batteries, but I think if it's under a certain milliamp hour, that they're
Yeah.
cool. But the thing that helped the most was having the shirt that I wore. Like, if I was wearing a Stone Cold Steve Austin shirt, and everyone let me go through TSA quickly. They're like, "Oh, I like that shirt," and then so on the way down, I was wearing a Macho Man T-shirt, and I had some Macho Man fans there. And then on the way back, I wore a Stone Cold one, and that was like my pre TSA like pass to get through for a lot of those things. So
So
that's
if
pretty.
you get one of the like replica belts,
Yeah,
then
I think
you
that would
just
be cool.
you could like fly the plane. I think at that
I've
point.
been looking for a replica fanny pack belt. I've seen them on TikTok, uh, and because then that would be a great EDC thing for Vegas.
That would be fantastic.
Yeah,
I would
but
love
a lot of the places in Vegas, like you couldn't like. I didn't have my knife with me at there, which is like when I'm in Seattle,
yeah.
you always want to have your shank ready because you never know. But uh, but at Vegas, like every place, like you could have gone anywhere. Like we went to Hoover Dam and that place was on lockdown. Like you couldn't
Oh
bring
yeah.
anything there.
Well, and you also can't go like a lot of the casinos won't let
Yeah,
that sort of stuff. Like there's a lot of that sort of stuff where I feel like with some places it's also like when you go to like Disneyland or Disney World or something. Like you ideally as a prepper would like to have certain things with you,
yeah.
but you can't. So you kind of give up the idea that like okay, if we're going to this place,
You
if
can't be
everyone doesn't have
you
it
can't be too
theoretically,
tactical. Yeah,
yeah, like you're gonna have to come up with. You might have to improvise. Like you
yeah.
might have to go get a plastic utensil from the buffet if you need something like that
Well,
or something.
and they always say like it's not it's all about what's your knowledge and your skills and stuff. So that it comes true. Like when we went there, that was the day that where they had the Tesla truck that exploded at the Trump
Oh,
Tower. That one we were there that day, and then my I was my YouTube instinct. I wonder if I should like film something there, like give like a live report. But then my wife's like, "You idiot! No, stay away." And so uh, but yeah, that but it was that the whole city was on like there was armed guards all over the place with like the tactical rifles and stuff. It was pretty it was pretty, it felt safe
yeah,
after.
exactly. You're like, look,
I'm like these
the
guys
thing that
got it.
I'm gonna
They have huge muscles. They're full prepped out. They're full
well,
prepped
and
out.
I also think at that point, like the thing that you would be like resisting against or fighting against or something like that is going to be so over the top of what you could potentially ever have. Like
Yeah,
there's kind of no point. Like
yeah.
like in that scenario, like that's where there's going to be teams of people and like you're just like I would like to just leave. That's my goal. Is just
Yeah.
to escape.
Yeah.
Um,
But yeah, how are things going with you? I've been saying all this stuff for me. I was just
uh,
chit chatting.
Good. Yeah, it's been
Still the
super
same
busy.
hoodie. You've been wearing that same hoodie for years
Look,
now.
this is about branding. This is just branding. We're just look. I'm in charge of making the backgrounds and the branding and all. Like that's what we do. So yeah. Also, I
One
sleep
of
in
these
this.
times we'll figure out how to flip the camera so like, we could read it because it's like
Oh, it's just it's the
I
preparedness.
know it. I
Yeah,
have the same one,
yeah. I know somebody sent it to you.
but our
They're
viewers
very
are
nice.
what
Yeah,
TV
exactly.
TV test pattern. What I've never seen that before. What is that?
Wait, what? What is a TV
YouTube
test then?
commenter.
Oh, well, welcome to the party.
Yeah, welcome.
The So yeah, so we've been doing lots of school stuff, lots of kind of getting the kids on track, kind of lessons learned from first semester going into second semester. So lots of kind of family stuff. Now the kids go to schools where there's like extracurricular activities and after school stuff. So we're doing that. The oldest got his permit, so we have started driving lessons
Wow.
with him. So there's been a lot of. I also say there's a lot of like. I named the episode today "Lessons Learned" because there was the wildfires, but
Yeah.
I feel like after those sorts of disasters, people who are prepping mindset kind of think about like, okay, what do we need to make sure? So there was a lot of like, okay, let's make sure that like spare keys, like we have like I'll have two spare keys on a keychain, and we usually keep them in one spot. I separated them out, so now we have two sets of spare keys essentially for all of the keys in our house, and they're in two different places. So in case we needed them, and did a lot of like paperwork, like, okay, let's make sure we have one set of birth certificates and things at our house and one set at, in the safe deposit box, or one set at grandparents' house, or like
Yeah.
those sorts of things. I think there was a lot of, when you watch the videos and things from LA, there was just a lot of stuff there where you're like, okay, I feel like I have a plan here, but let me just take this opportunity to make sure I'm going to run through it again. So I did a bunch of that. I did get to try out, unfortunately. My dad the other day cut his foot, and it wasn't a super deep cut, but it wouldn't stop bleeding.
Mm.
And so he called me and my brother, like, "Hey, can somebody come over and help me? I may need to go to the ER. I don't know." So we went over, and I brought the stop bleeding
Yeah.
Curade stuff, the clotting spray. I brought the gauze, but the spray also was really, really good. And was able to use that, and between that and some pressure bandages, was able to get it under control. So big vote of confidence in the clotting sprays. If you don't have those, either at home or in a bag somewhere, would definitely recommend picking up one of those and having it on hand just in
Mm-hmm.
case. I think the other thing is it made me look at getting into like a deeper first aid class, because I think we've seen a lot of stuff, and I was like, I maybe want to know a little bit more about first aid sort of medical stuff. So our cert class is going to do a wilderness
Cool.
first aid class or something. So I may look into that.
Yeah, I do. I
Yeah.
do one every like 18 months and then for CPR as well too. Because my work offers it, so I'm always taking advantage of it. I'm
Oh
trying to
yeah.
think. I don't think I have a clot spray. Let me look.
Yeah, so I've got like gauze, and then there's like a stop bleed powder that you can get. That it looks like a pixie stick, and you actually pour it into the wound.
Hmm.
And then there's a spray, and then there are like packing gauze and stuff. And because he was cut on the side of his foot, it wasn't deep, but it was like wide. So it was like, okay, let's spray it and then pack it and spray it and pack it. And so that worked really, really well.
Yeah, I got a cool thing for it's like a wound closure device. I don't in there. It's kind of like a.
Mm-hmm.
I got rid of the medical stapler just
Yeah.
because I wanted it thinner, but I still wanted to have it. But I also, yeah, I'm not trained in sutures like professionals are. So, but this was like a good. I thought for the kind of wound like what you're describing there, maybe it'll work for that. And I really like the Stera strips. I've used those in the past where One time, my mom had some stitches on her back shoulder, and the stitches came out, and I mean, it was pretty gross at the time. But I was able to use the stair strips to seal it back up and get her back over there. And then I always do these thin wound dressings. So I could fit a whole bunch of Tegaderm and like the wound dressings that kind of it turns into like a gel instead of having a bunch of gauze because the gauze is super
Yeah.
thick. Anyway, that's what I've been doing, and it's been working pretty well for most things.
Yeah. No,
I
that
know
was
like preppers want to have more like chest seals and 3 tourniquets and all that stuff. But I've gone with more of a thinner approach for my current EDC bag for first aid.
Yeah, and I think it's worthwhile to have a tourniquet and chest seal and all that.
I do
Sort
have I have
of,
that's the one thing I have is a tourniquet, but I used to carry 2 tourniquets. I trimmed it down to 1 because I'm trying to make weight because I'm constantly weighing this thing to make sure it's under a certain weight because I don't want to because the heavier it gets, the less I'm going to carry. So all that stuff.
yeah. Well, I think that's the sort of stuff you could put like in modules. So like I have like
Yes.
little first aid kit that's like in the car for just in case. I've got a trauma kit that I'll throw in if I'm going to the range maybe or something like that. I've got like a larger medical kit
Yeah.
that we'll take if we're going out of town or we're going on a trip or something that's got a wider variety. And then like at home, which is like home base, we got all kinds of stuff. And so, having a tourniquet in probably a couple of those kits makes sense. Having it in all of them, maybe not, putting a chest seal and a trauma kit in a couple of those kits, but maybe not in the everyday
I'm doing
one.
the same thing. Yeah,
Exactly.
I have like the on my person one, and then I have in
Yeah.
the backpack one, and then I have the bigger one for the car, and then the bigger one for the home. So it's kind of like the Russian dolls, the nesting ones, where it keeps expanding. It gets bigger and bigger.
Yeah, exactly. I think another thing too that was interesting in a lot of like the TikToks and things I was watching for LA and stuff was the speed at which the like evacuations came, where it was like, okay, there's nothing happening, and then it was like, okay, you got 30 minutes to leave, and you gotta like get out.
Yeah.
I'm thinking through what are the things that you would take if it was an emergency. You had 30 minutes to get out of your house. What is it? What are the documents? What are the keepsakes? What is in that grouping of stuff that you would put in your car to take out and head out of town with?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's pretty scary. I mean, how quickly. I mean, I think preppers, we all kind of plan on that, and we try to think of those scenarios. But when you're in that type of thing, like, uh, it was super hard for folks for
Oh
sure.
yeah. It's kind of like there's that phrase. I think it was Muhammad Ali. Everyone's got a plan until they get punched in the face.
I think Mike Tyson said that. I thought.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And so I think it's kind of when you look at it, we think like, oh, we've got it, and then like, okay, you've got to actually do it. And
Yeah,
there's a
prepping
whole
is
other
very romanticized oftentimes. Where we try to have fun doing it because it's like a grim topic oftentimes the subjects and stuff. But when you're in that situation, yeah, I mean, uh, your planning could subject to change, or that's when the stress really happens for sure.
Yeah, exactly. Another thing I think too that has come up in the last couple of weeks was like government documents. So we know that there's a lot of stuff happening transition wise and everything else. If you need like your passport's going to be expiring like within the next 12 months ish maybe or something like that, making sure that you're getting that stuff renewed. So even if there's a delay, I've heard some people say there's no delay right now. I've heard some people say there's a huge delay. Passports in general can be delayed. We needed new passports for the kids, and we paid like the rush fees just to make sure that we got it as quickly as possible. And I think it took 3 weeks or something for us to get it, on a random set of weeks a couple of months ago. So if those are things that you want, extra birth certificates, you can actually get copies of your social security card. I found out you can order 10 in your lifetime. So I wouldn't recommend getting all 10, but maybe getting an extra one to have. So you've got a paper copy at home, and maybe you've got a paper copy somewhere else, and then making sure you've got digital versions of all of that. So if you need to prove your identity, if you need insurance documents, because that was another thing in LA that was big with the insurance stuff that's been going on in California,
Mhm.
is making sure that wherever you live, I know this also happened in North Carolina with the hurricanes and things, that
Yeah.
you've got hurricane, but you also got flood insurance, you got health insurance. So making sure that you're talking to your insurance agent and make sure that like you've got coverage, and maybe talk to a couple and see if they have different opinions of what type of coverages you would need and that sort of thing.
Yeah. Yeah, we did a lot of that when we bought our place, but haven't really re-looked at it all that since then. So it's a good reminder for me for sure.
Yeah, we had to move like some cars around on the insurance policies, because now we've got the 15-year-old who's driving, so we need to make sure that everything is all taken care of and covered and all of that. And so when I was talking to them about the car insurance, I was like, hey, when do we need to do a review of all of our stuff and make sure that everything's up to date and all of that.
Yeah.
They usually do it like once a year, but we didn't do it last year, so I think we're doing it in a couple months. But it's important if you're going to assume that the world is going to carry on, and you may be rebuilding, to make sure that you've got what you need for rebuilding.
Got it. Yeah, makes sense.
Oh
Well,
my goodness.
yeah, there's
So many things
lots
to
that
read.
we're catching up on. Yeah, for
Yeah, exactly. We don't-
holidays, Vegas, videos, wildfires, all sorts of stuff.
Exactly. All right. So I think
I'm glad that Chuck and Pony Girl and Pigs Fly, they're all
yeah,
back.
we've got the whole crew
We've reunited everyone.
in the chat. Everybody's talking, which is good. We're glad that we could facilitate the chat room, which is
That's the main
key
purpose.
thing. So I think we're gonna sign off for tonight. Tup's gonna go finish work so he can go home. I'm gonna go check in on kids, because we had one come back from play practice, another one's going to a Model United Nations conference or something. So we're gonna do the handoff there. But we will be back the next couple of weeks at least. At
The one that I know that like a month from now on the 26th of February, I know I have a conflict there, but maybe we could do a Tuesday or Thursday on that one.
Yeah, we can pick another
surprise stream day.
Yeah, exactly. And then I think keep an eye out, because Tup's got new videos coming out. So he's going to do that.
February. They'll come out February for sure.
Yeah, and I'm going to start doing, I'm going to, the enemy of the good, perfect is the enemy good, or something like that.
Yeah.
I've been holding off on doing these just kind of one-off random streams of different ideas and things. So I'm going to try to get on and start doing that a little bit more over the next few weeks. So keep an eye out for that. So more content coming in the new year, 2025. But we'll still have Prep Talk Live as many weeks as we can.
Sounds great.
Now we've got to get to episode 200.
That'll be the big one. Yeah,
that's the next.
We'll be all old. We'll have like all gray hairs and stuff.
30 years from now, we'll be like, remember when? All right, everybody.
Be all AI generated like episode.
That is another thing. Two things to talk about next time. One is I was doing an exercise in my head about you had the 4 stages of grieving, and I was thinking about the 4 stages of prepping.
Oh.
And like the correlation between like you have like you're completely oblivious and don't care, and then there's like a thing where you're in panic and fear, and then you're like in like accumulation, and then you're like in maintenance, sort of a thing, and it kind of settles in. So I'm kind of workshopping that. If anybody has thoughts on elements of the 4 stages of prepping.
It'd be interesting to figure. I've never thought about that. But
and then I was also thinking about like prepping AI bots. So I got into like a weird place with AI in the last couple of weeks with ChatGPT and doing stuff. And I was thinking, I wonder if I could build like an AI agent that's like for prepping, that has like a prepping mindset that we could like ask questions to and things like that. So
totally. I think that's. I'm surprised we don't have one already. So.
Yeah, exactly. So we'll work on that. Those are some ideas we're kicking around for 2025. Nice. We still got some surprises. We're still here. We're still kicking. We're just, also running carpools.
Yeah.
All right, everybody. Well, have a wonderful rest of your Wednesday. Thanks for joining us. Again, like, subscribe. We will see you in a few days next week.
That's good.
All right.